why are we responsible for making sure that they're earning enough money? Why aren't they just paid enough? Hey, welcome to our hot tub here at the Airy at the Pointhouse in the Sunshine Coast. This is amazing.
So beautiful. I get used to this.
Yeah. And we thought we would invite you to come join us in the hot tub to help us settle a debate about tipping. So I find in the United States especially, people tip on everything, but we tip a lot in Canada too, more so than like Australia and other places that aren't so much into tipping. Well, usually people are tipping a percentage, like anywhere I guess from 10 to 20% is kind of standard. More probably 15 to 20% is standard. And I don't think it should be a percentage thing. That doesn't really make sense to me. I feel like when I go to a restaurant, the waiter's probably giving the same service if it's a very expensive meal that's $30 or $40 a person, or if it's a cheaper meal that's $12, $14 a person. So why would one make twice as much in tips as the other? I think there should just be like a flat rate that we tip our servers, but Heath doesn't agree.
Well, I think there's a couple of things to that. I agree within common sense. Like if you say you went to an inexpensive restaurant and you ordered something, I think you tip at least 10, 50%, like a couple dollars. Like don't tip 50 cents. I mean, that's just kind of weird and rude.
Yeah.
I mean, if they're doing all this work, yeah, give them a few dollars, even if it's more than 10, 20%. Like, that's common sense. But in a more expensive restaurant, these waiters have trained and trained and trained, like professionals. They are professionals. If they're in an expensive restaurant, they deserve more.
Well, and why can't it be a flat rate though? Like if I go to a fancy restaurant and the bill is $200 for us,
yeah.
At the end of the day, if I'm tipping 20%, they're getting $40 plus their wage. So if we were there for an hour and a half, that's kind of crazy for bringing food to our table and taking away our plates.
Well, but except for in North America, they don't get a living wage. In Australia and in the UK, they get proper wage. In North America, waiters are paid, servers are paid next to nothing, like a serving wage, which is even less than minimum wage. If you're a part-time, if you're a student and you have a part-time job, that's one kind of a server but if you have another server at a 5-star restaurant, that's another kind of server. They should get a little bit more.
Well, and I just still think it should be sort of a flat rate.
But how do you calculate a flat rate?
Well, you would just decide when you go to a 5-star restaurant, you tip $20. When you go to a 2-star restaurant, you tip $10.
But that's very arbitrary for everybody, though.
Well, why can't we just come up with a standard flat rate amount? Like, a server should have a $10 tip. They should get a wage, and then they can have a $10 tip. Part of it is just like, why are we responsible for making sure that they're earning enough money? Why aren't they just paid enough? Why does it have to be on us to be like, well, you better tip them $40 because they're not paid the minimum wage?
Yeah, I mean, I can't argue against that. I mean, I totally agree.
And it's just, in the end of the day, a waiter, and I've been a waiter, and I got a job at a fancy golf course, the kind where you have to pay tens of thousands of dollars to be a member. I wasn't that qualified, honestly, and I feel like I shouldn't be paid that much money compared to like now when we have professional jobs and we're older. Literally, we both would make more if we just quit and became waiters.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, and there's times where I've seen a bartender, pop a beer and get cheap $1 tip.
Right.
And then a barista takes, 3 or 4 minutes to make, a fancy coffee and get nothing.
Yeah, that seems strange to me too.
That I don't quite get it.
Yeah,
but,
and why don't we tip at fast food places? Or, when I go get a pita, I don't tip the guy who just made me the pita or my Subway sandwich.
No.
But yeah, literally like open my drink and here's $1.
Yeah, I don't know. But I don't think a flat rate is so hard to figure out.
Well, you don't think if we could agree on it? I mean, we've agreed.
People can't even agree on 15 to 20%.
Well, we have agreed on at least that range.
Right.
So why can't we agree that the standard would be $10 for dinner? How much does the waiter need? An extra $10, and they've got multiple tables. I just don't think the waiter needs to make that much in tips. And a tip, to me, the idea of a tip should be they went above and beyond, so you want to leave them a little extra to be like, wow, you did such a great job, let me give you a tip. Now it's just a requirement. It's like, well, they're not paid enough, you got a tip. It's like, well, what? I don't think that's what it was designed for.
No.
And then now in the States, like when you take a a van from the airport to your hotel, you're supposed to tip the driver. Like, I don't find we really do that in Canada, but I know they do that a lot in America. And things like that, I'm like, really? And then you tip the bellhop for, you know, helping you with your luggage that you didn't ask him to help with, and all that stuff. It's just like, tip on everything.
Does that up? Yep, that's for sure.
Well, so let us know what you think. Do you think there might be something to having like a flat tip? Do you think there might be something to just paying people enough so you don't have to tip them? Or you think it just makes sense to tip 10 to 20%? Do you tip more, tip less? Let me know what you think about all that tipping stuff in the comments below. And we're gonna enjoy the rest of our hot tub evening. So, bye. Rude.